Ma? What you doing? You happy, Ma? Are you excited? It's a good angle.
You're the one that's recording.
The one where you can only see me. It's the angle.
What if she's... Okay, so what now? Are you pressing record?
It's recording all the time.
You're so silly. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another chapter of the Faith Family Frederick story. We are rocking anniversary vibes this week.
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years of marriage. It's a drop in the lake in comparison to some of the people we know. But hey, 6 years. We started, we made it, we're here.
Sorry.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, so we are on our way to the hotel to start our celebrations. Nikita's done with schoolwork.
Yay!
I've got a new job.
Yay!
And yeah, man, that's where we're at right now. We're vibing on 100.
Yeah, so our anniversary is actually at the end of November and we're in December already. But we had to postpone it a little bit because I had work and this year was a year from hell, so I didn't have enough time to just, do my job properly.
Go Vivo.
So we had to postpone our anniversary a little bit, but here we are. And now, before we get into the whole video, here is a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Flow Jokes.
Influencer.
Because we are influencers. Nobody wants to give us money for our videos.
Influential.
But we do have 100 subscribers.
Don't face.
117, I think the last time I checked. So a whole 117 of you actually want to see this, which is interesting. And we appreciate that. Thank you
Don't be
so much.
naar all the mensen that don't have links. We have links now.
Yeah, we finally could get a custom link on YouTube. I know that's not a big deal to some of you, but it's a big deal to us.
Hey.
Yeah, so you can now find us there with our own link, the things. Okay, are you ready for the flow joke? So I made this joke up one night after midnight. It's just
So bad.
and it's so funny. Okay,
No, it's not.
okay.
It's terrible.
It's hilarious. Okay, so
Let us know in the comments if it's funny or not. I don't think it is. I think it's lame.
this is moving a lot. I'm sorry, but I don't have a thing. We don't have a thing to hold the things because we are influencers.
Influencer.
Okay, so how does the joke go again?
Oh my word. You want to tell jokes but you don't know.
Okay, so I think it was, why did the girl break up with the boy who had a foot fetish?
Didn't like a foot fetish.
No, the
Oh, okay.
guy had a foot fetish
Oh right, yeah, sorry.
because she was lactose intolerant. I made it up. It's so funny. Get it? Lactose, like he likes toes, but she's intolerant.
Just stop now.
It's so funny.
Please, Jesus, stop
Oh
us.
my word.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesus.
Well, I was getting sore, so we'll see you in the hotel. the best view of them all. Aww.
Sit.
I can't open my eyes properly because it's so bright outside. But look, it's the ocean. It's there. Hi. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. It's gonna be a dope night. And if you look behind me, you can actually see the pool deck. It's quite cool.
Wait. There. A little bit of blue. Cool.
Very pretty.
Okay, we'll see you later. What did you say now?
I said we can walk wherever we want to go because my wife don't worry about it that much. Cheers!
Cheers! And the basket?
Okay.
Clean it. Oh. Ooh. Look at all the fruit I'm not gonna eat right now because I'm naughty.
That's Woolworths in a nutshell, my love. So, do you come here often?
No.
But why?
Because I can't afford it.
What you doing here, babe? I think we probably didn't see that.
Now a glimpse into heaven. Woo! Look at that.
For the next part of the video, it would be really cool to actually just do some reflection on what it's like to be married. What's different versus six years in versus first year of marriage, and the lessons we've learned so far. So you can start actually.
I don't, we aren't the type of couple that's like, oh, you must always put your jeans in the laundry basket.
Because we're both quite untidy.
I don't really get annoyed with stuff like that. He doesn't really get annoyed with stuff like that. We do it when it's necessary to be done. So it's not like we can say, oh, don't forget to put the cap on the toothpaste. But please put the cap on the toothpaste so that it's dry.
Squeeze on the bottom.
But these are the type of things that are the type of problems that you get when you now have two separate lives that are one life, right?
So like first year marriage.
Yeah, so those are the problems, I think, not even problems, but things that we experienced initially when we first lived together, like, oh, it's so irritating, you don't leave this toilet seat up or anything.
But she did get annoyed that I take the toilet roll off the thing.
But you saw that in our 10 things I hate about you, but he still does it. Even after the whole internet knows about it, he's still doing it. But he's better, it's better.
Thank you.
So the thing is that we had to learn how to put our lives together. But 6 years now, we pretty much have one life. So I think that the main thing that I have learned, or that I can say is probably a massive tip as a wife of 6 years, which also, let's not get it twisted, we're not saying that we've been married forever, we're not like 40 years in, we are not experts, but we have learned something. So I would say watch how you say things. Sometimes it's more important to get your tone right. Sometimes it's more important to think about the way you say something than it is to think about what you are saying. So I'll give you a silly example and a serious example. Right? So a silly example is I need to ensure that Alvin understands that things are important, like what is important and what is not important. So I'll say to him, babe, this is really important, like focus. I'll never tell him things that are important when he's watching soccer or anything like that. But I will kind of try to make sure that he understands, okay, this is something that needs to be done, this is something that's important, or this is something that I need you to listen to. Because sometimes, let's be honest, we can, misunderstand or misconstrue what the person is saying. So that's like a silly thing, is never tell your partner something that's important when they are distracted.
Yeah, when they're not engaged with you.
Yeah, try to kind of ensure that you are both tuned in, because that also detracts from the whole, but you didn't tell me, I don't. When did you tell me this? And we had a whole conversation. That is very helpful. And then like a serious one is also if you are upset about something, if you're disagreeing with something, if there's something that's really bothering you, first calm down. First take the time to think about how you are going to approach it, how you're going to address it, because you can really break your partner, especially if you are somebody who is good with words, or if you're somebody who can articulate things in a very particular way. You can be overly harsh, you can be insensitive, and you can really hurt your partner, and that type of hurt has the potential to never go away. So if you're upset about something, take the time, calm yourself down, think about how you are going to say something to them, and then articulate it in a calm and measured way. Because if I just said something to Alvin like, if I ever, which I would never do, if I ever said to him, you are the worst, he will remember that for the rest of our marriage. It's like you can, even if you say you're the best for 10,000 times, that one experience of hearing you're the worst
in a moment of anger, or because that's generally where real feelings come out.
And you could carry that forever. So I would definitely say, take a moment. Think about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it to your partner, and
I can definitely agree with that communication point. Like communication in any healthy marriage is vital, because when people bottle things up, that's when things explode, right? And that has, unfortunately, in our marriage, that has happened a few times, where you allow things to bother you without saying anything for fear of hurting your partner, and then you actually end up hurting them a lot more in a moment of rage than what you would have if you had just expressed it in the moment of annoyance, and actually just been like, listen baby, please don't do that, it bothers me, instead of waiting for all of those things to pile up and then come out in one damn burst. That's not what you want.
That's DAM,
like waves. Yes.
Not swearing here in this channel.
No.
Sorry.
And then the other thing was emotions, right? Don't stifle your partner's emotions, right? Let them feel the way they want to feel. If you have an argument, how they process their emotions will be different to how you process your emotions, and you need to be sensitive to that. You need to be able to allow your partner the space and time to feel the way they feel, and not take that personally, right? So with me, for example, if Nikita tells me something, because I want to make her happy and because I love her so much, I tend to take it to heart, right? And I feel bad about myself for a little bit, and I get a bit mopey or sad, but that's just the way I process the emotion. And then once it's done, then we go back to normal, and I try to work on what she's told me, and I try to be better. But without that freedom to feel the way I'm feeling, it can build resentment, So you've got to allow your partner to express their emotions the way they want to express their emotions, and you've got to allow them the freedom to feel the emotions and not hold them to your timeline. So for example, Nikita, once she's expressed something, it's off her chest, it's done. Right? For me, it's a different thing. Sometimes I express an emotion, and that's because I'm only starting to feel that emotion, or I'm at the peak of that emotion and it needs to come down when I'm normal again. So that's different. You need to respect those types of differences.
Yeah. And then if we go back to the first point, imagine in those moments where Alvin feels like, oh, he's messed up and now he feels bad, and then I say, oh my gosh, you are the worst, you always do this. That is where the relationship breaks down, because then you would never feel safe again, because that's kind of like an attack mode. I feel like we're talking about fighting a lot.
But I mean, at the beginning of marriage, there are a lot of disagreements, there are lots of fights.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't fight very often.
No,
but
we really don't.
But it's important that it's out there, that information is out there, especially for young couples. Yeah. You think, we're fighting all the time, maybe we must get divorced. No, it's normal. You're going to fight, and it's okay. Divorce is not the answer. Communication is the answer.
Yeah. So again, we haven't experienced anything that's gotten us to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm out. We need to leave each other. And I know Alvin's just saying divorce is not the answer. Obviously, we believe in keeping marriages together. There are times where divorce is the answer.
Yes.
So we're not judging at all. Like, don't feel like we are
Like,
kind of sitting on a high horse and saying that, oh no, nobody should ever get divorced. That's not true.
Yes.
Sometimes it is necessary.
Yes.
Obviously, we believe in marriages and we'd like to see everyone in a happy marriage. I just want everybody to be happy. Like, even my single friends, I'm like, if you don't want to be single, singleness is also completely fine if that's what you desire and
single
that's what you are
and
called
sufficient.
to. Yeah, I'm single and sufficient. But if you want to be in a relationship and you're a friend of mine, I am going to want that for you and want you to be happy too. So that's just because I'm so in love.
Oh my word.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting off topic. I can't remember what I was going to say. What I want to say is, you know how people sometimes say like, oh, you guys are still in the honeymoon period. Enjoy it while it lasts. And that's junk. Like, I feel like there's this expectation from the world for your marriage to end up being something that you are bitter about or something that you are trying to escape all the time.
They expect it to end up like Love and Marriage. If you,
Yes.
I mean, I'm giving away my age a little bit with that show reference.
You guys, half of you are not going to know what it is. Look it up.
Ask your parents about it.
Listen, the teenage daughter in Love and Marriage is like playing moms now. So
Yeah, hectic.
you're old. I'm 11 months younger.
Yeah. Continue.
What was I going to say?
I don't know. Oh my.
You see, he's not listening to me. So there's an expectation for your marriage to kind of go south or for you to get the 7-year itch. Obviously, we've only been married for 6 years, so I can't tell you what's going to happen next year. Maybe it'll be itchy, and I'm joking. But there's always this expectation for you to be like, ugh, about your partner, like, ugh, I have to go home, or let's check what the wife thinks, or oh no, he won't let me spend money, or oh no, she's spending all, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But there's this expectation of people to be like, your honeymoon period is not going to last. And I feel like 6 years later, I still get excited when I see him. Yesterday he fetched me from our staff function, and you can ask my colleagues. I'm still smitten. I was like, oh my gosh, he's here, he's come to fetch me, look how cute he is. We still do dates.
Listen, I was looking fly though. Let's just put that out there. I was looking
good. We still do dates, and you know, obviously not now in 2020 with COVID and stuff, but when he was traveling for work and he would be gone for a weekend, I would be like sad.
Me too. While wherever I was, I would be sad because I've gotten used to seeing her every night, you know?
Obviously.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so the honeymoon period doesn't have to go. Like, we are spending our anniversary celebration away from home. And it feels like honeymoon. Like, I still have that honeymoon feeling, that like excitedness, especially to see him and to just spend time alone with him without other people or distractions. So that doesn't have to go away. You can work on keeping that.
And what I find as a male in the relationship, and what continues to keep that feeling afloat, is making sure that your partner feels loved. Right? If you want to get that love back and you want her to fill your love tank, you have to fill her love tank first. She can't pour from an empty cup, homie. It's just, that's a fact. You can't pour from an empty cup. So if you have to keep your partner's cup full, right? And you're giving it of yourself all the time, and you're giving to each other all the time. And that's what keeps that romance up, and that's what keeps the love alive, and the excitement and the honeymooniness alive. I mean, my parents have been married just shy of 40 years. I think they married 39 years this year.
It's for parents? Why?
I think actually it might actually be their 40th year.
You're gonna get into trouble.
That's not I'm not married to my mommy. Why must I remember?
Must know these things.
Anyway, so I mean, like, you can ask Nikita, when we see them, they're still so in love, and they're still, like, my dad rubs her feet with camphor cream every night, you know, that kind of thing. It's like they still love each other very, very much.
Secrets out there. Yeah, but it's so true. Like, you don't have to fall into that trap. And also, if you carry on, like he's saying, bottling all those emotions and all those things up, and you never speak about it, and let me take it one step further, if the other partner if the partner doesn't work on it, like Alvin said, he will work on it, and we both try to, once the other person says something, we try to actively be better and work on it. It's a full-time commitment. You choose to be married every day. You choose to be in love every day. You choose to better yourself as a person and as a partner every day. There are no off days in marriage.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes you can say, like I say to my husband, I'm an introvert, I need to recharge, go away for the day. But then I'm back. Okay, please come home because I miss you. But it's a full-time thing, and you need to actively be working on that. And if your partner is not actively working on it, then something needs to be done. Don't knock counseling. I know that we come from a generation now where going to the psychologist or counseling is a more normalized thing, which is great because mental health is incredibly important. And couple health is incredibly important because you actually, again, have two people with their own mental health, their own trauma that they are going to need to work through, their own experiences, their own expectations, and having a third party help you through those things, navigate through those things, that's my favorite word, is so valuable. So don't feel like nothing is working.
You haven't failed if you're going for counseling.
Yeah, counseling can really help. So we did premarital counseling. I think we've spoken about this before. We did a whole lot of different like marriage prep things with a cell group that we were part of, that were just couples geared towards actual good marriages, and those things are still helping us today. Alvin is speaking about a love tank. That's from the 5 love languages, which we suggest everybody reads and does the DVDs and laughs at the fashions because it was recorded in 1942. Or I'm joking. But it's so valuable because if you keep thinking of those things like, oh, have I shown my partner love? Have I given them love in the way that they experience love? Then you know, I'll keep things alive.
And this is one final tip, but this is not for married people, this is for unmarried people. In a society that is saturated with instant gratification, if that is your goal, marriage is not for you.
No.
Don't get married.
Yeah.
Because marriage is about two people working towards a goal. That goal is each other's fulfillment and happiness. Like, you should be happy in and of yourself. You should be complete before you get married. Don't look for somebody to complete you because that's not going to happen.
No.
Right? You need to be complete and whole as a person before you get married. Right? And then together you work on a set of goals. You work together towards a common goal of happiness and a relationship.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It is.
Marriage is hard work. If you want a marriage to last, it's not like the movies. Right? It's really not like that. So if you want marriage to last, you have to work at it, and you have to work at it every day.
Yeah.
There will be mistakes, there will be failures, there will be shortcomings, and you need to be aware of the fact that you are not perfect, and you will make mistakes, and your partner will make mistakes, and you need to overlook them at times, and there are times you need to work through them together. That is the reality of what marriage is. It's hard work. It's not about instant gratification, and it is about happily ever after, but it's working together towards happily ever after.
So, do you want to stay married to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like me?
I do. That you have to like your spouse, guys.
But like, do you still smart me?
Yes, I do. Alright, guys. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just we are trying to up our content game a little bit. So any suggestions for any videos, please put them in the comments down. I almost said downstairs. Yeah, put them in the comments downstairs. And we will take all the suggestions. I will just quickly answer this one. So somebody asked on Instagram for us to film a morning/evening routine. We don't have one. We fall asleep when we're tired. We don't do anything.
But there is a little bit of routine for me because I make coffee for her every morning and I put in a lunch every day.
Yes, I'm really pleased. Okay, so if you want to have if you have any suggestions that you want us to film, then put it in the comments.
Doesn't matter if it's silly.
And also, if you liked my joke from before and you want to hear more jokes because it was amazing, so good. I laughed at it like for 3 days. then let me know. Let us know. Tell him I'm funny, please.
Minfluence is out!
Bye!